So let's talk about relationship PTSD. It's when a person has bad feelings that erupt, that even can manifest themselves physically when encountering the possibility of a relationship. Or they are in a relationship and they start exhibiting negativity and hesitation. And it's got nothing to do with the current relationship or the current partner. It has everything to do with their past. When people start flaking on you, it's because they have relationship shell shock. It's been noted in the classic diagnosis of PTSD and CPSD, more of a complex variety. People that have been in war, when they come back home and someone slams a door, because they were where there were bombs going off and mines. So just the clap of a hand, a door slamming, someone drops a box or drops something and they freak out at like a loud noise and they get defensive when they bump into somebody coming around a corner. And all they're doing is experiencing mentally, emotionally, and physically. They're not just going, oh, a loud noise, that's disturbing. They're actually crouching in fear as if it was a bomb going off. So relationship PTSD, if you've had bad experiences in the past, you are carrying the trauma, the hurt from those. And if you encountered a sociopath, a psychopath, if you were with a liar, I don't want to say narcissist, because everyone, like, that's a big thing now. Oh, I was married to a narcissist. Shut up with your narcissist. All right, psychiatrist, shut up. All of a sudden, everybody's like a master of narcissism. You know, like every woman that I met when I was dating, the husband was abusive and a narcissist. Shut up. As soon as I hear them talking like that, I'm like, that was the last time. That's, guys, that's why you don't take girls out on $200 dinners. All right? You go to the Mexican takeout or you meet for coffee. None of this, you know, my joke was a few months ago that Outback is for the girlfriends, Fleming's Steakhouse is for the wife. You want women in the dating scenario today want to be treated like a wife? You might need to act like a wife first. Let's get back to the topic of relationship PTSD. You're carrying the trauma and the shell shock. If someone becomes ambiguous with you, like genuinely ambiguous, that all of a sudden that reminds you of the ambiguity that you experienced in your partner, your mate, your ex from the past, right before they cheated on you or right before they ended the marriage. So ambiguity, you have an enhanced sensitivity to ambiguity, and everybody can be ambiguous. Ambiguous doesn't always mean, you know, when someone says, you know, like when you go to a formal dinner somewhere and they say, would you like chicken or fish? And you're like, or make it even worse, chicken, fish, or beef? And you're like, And you think like, well, I had chicken yesterday. I don't like fish. And I'm supposed to have a steak tomorrow. Okay, I'll go with the beef. You know, like those kind of like banquets where they ask you, what do you want, chicken, fish, or beef? Or pasta, or, you know, whatever. That is true ambiguity right there, where you're making a decision like, But in a relationship, what are you doing Friday night? I don't know, I haven't decided yet. Like instantly, literally, you instantly go back to when you got cheated on, instantly go back to a bad time in marriage where they had a hard time deciding something. But if you experience some bad stuff, you automatically carry that with you into the future. That's rough. What else can be part of relationship PTSD? Sexual problems, performance problems. Usually performance problems with men manifest themselves with a lack of ability to perform or not perform for very long. With women, a performance problem would be mannequin sex, where they just are just not moving or responding, and like their attitude is, are you done yet? And you sense that. Those are hard things to recover from if you let them fester a little too long in your mind. This is why I say when people break up and I see these guys doing crazy things to get their girl back or get their wife back. Look, honey, I'm working out. Look how much weight I lost. I got a raise at work. I have a better car now. I went for counseling. I think we could really work now. This is one of the main reasons why I say when you have gone through a breakup, your number one job is to get you back, not get the other person back. Nobody gets anybody back. You don't win people back. People come back of their own, but you really have nothing to do with it. You might have had something to do with them leaving if you neglected yourself or neglected the marriage or the relationship. And then you have to just kind of inventory the things where you failed, where you were for the men, where you were a beta type male, where you didn't take the lead. What do you want to do for dinner? I don't know. What do you want to do for dinner? I don't know. What do you want to do for dinner? I don't know. What do you want to do for dinner? And you had like this lack of decisiveness that drove your wife crazy. Or you became the kind of guy, now I'm just talking to the men now, you women will get your turn in just a second. Or you became the kind of guy that is undesirable. You smell. You're not clean. You smoke pipes and cigars because it's a manly thing to do. You know what else is manly? Brushing your damn teeth and flossing and not smelling like a damn smokehouse when you're around your wife. No one's going to tell me how to live my life. I go out in the garage or the Van Gogh room or the cellar or out with the guys and I have cigars and we talk about manly things and chopping wood and lifting weights. But you smell like an ashtray. That wears down on the wife a little bit. I don't care what anyone says. Ladies, are you the woman that he married? Are you the pretty, sexy, shapely woman? And if you were never any of those things, this is not the pretty, shapely, sexy, handsome channel. This is for normal people. I call myself the king of the above average at times. You remember that? Remember that? I love being with above average people. What did Garrison Keillor, when he talked about Lake Wobegon, what was the phrase that he used about the kids? He was describing people and then he would say, and the kids are okay looking or something like that. Nobody is the person that the spouse married. Nobody. Everybody gets older. Entropy happens. Aging happens. That's okay. You didn't marry those wrinkles. You didn't marry that saggy body. But you love them. And you committed to them. And there's joy in what? Keeping up with the Joneses? No. Remember? There's joy in commitment. There's actually joy in commitment. No matter what. Your man's got a little belly on him? Love him to death. Love him up. Get him out walking. Feed him better if you're the cook in the family. Men, your wife's getting a little out of shape, getting some wrinkles, getting gray, whatever. Just fill in the blank. Does she still think that she's beautiful? You used to be her mirror when she said, and us guys, we joke about this now, do I look fat in these jeans? And there's a million possible responses to that. You are a mirror for your woman. If there's an exit door or exit sign always visible, you're just always one move, one moment of dissatisfaction away from leaving that relationship. You're one mouse click away from that relationship ending. Relationship PTSD, carrying the ghosts of the past into the future, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So, are you suffering from relationship PTSD? You need to talk to somebody, whether it be a coach or a therapist. I recommend more like a coach rather than a therapist because that's like ongoing nonsense. And if it has to do with your insurance only pays for so many sessions, and it's just, I just find that a very poor model of dealing with things. I know because I was a therapist for 22 years, long time. And as a coach, I'm way more qualified now because I'm not throwing around clinical diagnoses that have definitive treatments. But for lack of a better term, you need to determine if you have a form of relationship PTSD or CPSD and why that's preventing you from moving forward in relationships. You might be fearful of going into a relationship because you got burned really hard. If you're a guy, you lost half your money in your house and the angel that you married ended up being a devil and now you only see your kids every other weekend. Boy, do I get that. Do I understand that? A little bit too well. For women, you might have had a husband that cheated on you. And there was what I call the ultimate betrayal. So every man is a cheater now. Or if you were in a abusive thing, like the real abusive stuff, not just a man disagreeing with you, but where you experience the physical pain, intimidation, and the physical consequences of abuse, the hardcore stuff. And I'm not downplaying the softcore stuff. But that could create a form of PTSD in you. I used to, many, many years ago, before I was a frequenter of biker bars, the little anecdote was, I keep meeting men that hit me. And the therapist says, okay, where are you meeting these men? She says, biker bars. And obviously the therapist is thinking, maybe you need to be going somewhere else to meet someone. This was I heard that anecdote back when, probably in the early 80s when I was studying. And I have learned that biker bars are not bad places. I have found that biker bars are filled with patriots. When you see Harley Davidsons and pickup trucks, don't automatically think, ooh, that's a rough place. You're probably going to find men that look somewhat intimidating, but will still hold the door open for anybody, let alone a woman, for anybody. You're going to find patriots, veterans, and great music, and great bar food. So don't write off the biker bar thing. So now you know a little bit about relationship PTSD or CPSD, and it might be something that you're dealing with. When you get the proper diagnosis, then you know how to find the proper treatment. Until then, you're just treating the wrong issue.